kicking off the 8th season of Hardee's Friday Night Blitz with our annual preview special.
We'll show you who to keep an eye on and the biggest matches this season. It's the best high school football coverage in the Blue Ridge. Now, it's time for the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz High School Football Preview, only on WFXR. Hardee's Friday Night Blitz is sponsored by Hardee's, Don Hudson Insurance, McAdoo's, Wicked Diesel, the law offices of Chris White, and the U.S. Army.
Yes. Hello, everyone. I'm Jermaine Ferrell. Hope your day is wonderful and blessed. Welcome to our annual Hardee's Friday Night Blitz Preview Special. Over the next 30 minutes, we get you ready for the 2024 high school football season. And we begin the show with 4 teams from last season looking for a return trip to a state title game. The Galax Maroon Tide earned their second state title in dramatic fashion last year as they beat Essex 7-6 on a late field goal in the VHSL Class 1 championship game. Galax's tough schedule helped them work toward the state title. In 2024, it is a new ball game as the Maroon Tide are going for a repeat with a mixture of young and veteran players.
We got to be consistent so these guys understand what's expected from them. There's no, we don't throw new things at them. We try to keep everything the same, and so that way our guys understand what they need to do.
I don't think we all, have guaranteed that we're going to win another state championship. It's definitely going to be a challenging season, but I think we got a good core group of guys that can, go win some football games.
We know it's coming for us. We're going to just work as hard as we can, keep working in the weight room and on practice, and as much as we can possibly do to stay on top of it.
In the VHSL Class 2 ranks, it was the Radford Bobcats winning their first state title since 1972 with a 39-21 win over Riverheads to go a perfect 15-0. Looking at the season ahead, the Bobcats are doing just that, looking ahead to repeating, but at the same time keeping last year in the rearview mirror.
Our goal and our focus is always on the work that it takes to give yourself a chance to be successful. So this year is no different. We talked about it from winter on. Our focus just goes back to the work that it takes to give yourself a chance to be successful.
Honestly, it's surreal because I'm a senior now, so I have to step in the leadership position and lead the younger guys and help them get ready for Friday nights.
It was kind of easy for me. Just another win. So we move on. Yeah, it's great to have a state title, but let's look at next year. Let's look at the year before that.
The Liberty Christian Bulldogs went 14-0 on the way to winning the VHSL Class 3 crown over Lafayette 28-14. It was LCA's first ever VHSL state football title, and the Bulldogs look at winning the championship as a blessing.
My motivation in still doing it this long is really about the kids and helping them through the sport of football learn about life, so hopefully that will always remain my focus.
What that season was, it was the fight together. We all fought together, all on the same page. Love my brothers. We just kept going and did not stop. And
we had a target on our back, but we didn't realize, we were so laid back and didn't realize we had to go out and hunt, and that's what we did our last year, and went out and hunt for the kill and for the win, and that's what we're going to continue to do this year.
In the Class 4 title game, the Salem Spartans lost a close one to Phoebus 21-14. For Salem, the tradition is to compete for a state championship and have success.
Success is not a continuum, Last year's gone, but there's plenty of things that coaches and players can learn from that. And as I said, success is not automatic. 23's gone and 24's here, and that's what we have to prepare for, and that's what we've been doing since January.
It's always to get to the big game, as we call it, the state game. But the standard doesn't change. We want excellence every time.
We play for Salem, and we got a big target on our back, so everybody's going to try to, if they try to beat us or if they want to beat us, it's going to make their season, and we're not going to let that happen.
Now, Miriam Chamberlain joins us now. She shares the story of the Norcross Raiders and their drive for a third straight VISAA Division II state title. Miriam.
Well, that's right, Jermaine. All eyes are on the Raiders this season as winning is not just a part of their culture, but it's become a reality. And Norcross aims to reach another milestone this year, despite knowing there is a huge target on their backs, the target being that drive to continue to strive. After going back-to-back in the VIS-AA Division II State Championship, the North Cross Raiders are ready to defend their crown yet again, with a new face leading the charge. Enter Dwayne Priest, the new head coach, bringing a fresh perspective and strategy to the team.
It's just a tradition, with North Cross. They want to strive to be the best. The kids buy in, they work hard for you. We just look forward to the season starting up and see what we can bring to the table this year.
Despite the change in leadership, the core of the team remains strong.
They want to play the game of football. They come out every day. They run the sprints. They learn the playbook. They just play and do what I ask them to do, and they're just excited. I'm ready to see and go to war with these guys in the fall.
Key players from last season are back.
This year is going to be a gauntlet for us, though. I feel like I'm a big part of that.
Committed to make their mark and uphold the high standards set by those before them.
I feel like it's my turn. I feel like they gave me the throne to take over and be the leader now. Even if I'm not the senior, I'd still be the leader of the team.
It's like a legacy that I'm able to hold on my shoulders now. I came in freshman year, it was Ian Can, then it was Cam Johnson and Jarrell, my older brother. Now it's me and Jazil, so it feels great to be able to take the team and lead them.
The Raiders' quest for a three-peat will require consistency and hard work, in which North Cross is ready to rise to the challenge.
Coach Priest is going to push us to our limits of three-peat championship. I feel like that's what he's capable of doing, and he's going to do that by conditioning us, by working us until we don't want to go no more.
We are the rival team to everybody in the league, so it's like we're ready for anybody. We got a stronger schedule than last year and the 2 years before that. So we're ready to, get straight to that.
The North Cross Raiders again are going for that three-peat. They are fired up and about this big-time chance to bring it home in 2024.
Well, thank you so much, Miriam. Great work as always. Now, we will have one less high school playing varsity football this fall. Now, Auburn High School canceling its varsity football season due to safety concerns. Now, this year's team, mostly made up of freshmen and sophomores, only had one senior on the roster. The principal and athletic director didn't think it would be a fair fight on the field against the teams that had more upperclassmen. After a few practices, the school had to forego its varsity season. Now, Auburn will concentrate on the JV team.
When you lose a football season, you don't just lose football. You lose an event. You lose a place for the band to play. You lose a place for the cheerleaders to cheer. The band gets to play in all these competitions. They do really well, but the local community doesn't get to see it. The cheerleaders cheer in competition, but the local community doesn't get to see it.
Now, the school still plans to make JV games just as special. The band will perform at halftime, and the cheerleaders, both varsity and JV, will be there to cheer on the Eagles. Up next on the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz Preview Special, guess what we have? We check in on 3 of our new coaches taking the field. This is Hardee's Friday Night Blitz.
It's the best high school football coverage in the Blue Ridge. Hardee's Friday Night Blitz High School Football Preview is back only on WFXR.
Well, in the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz area, we have 9 schools entering the 2024 season with new head coaches. Some are familiar names with a new address. We begin with Appomattox. Longtime Raiders assistant Stephen Costello replaces retiring Doug Smith. Brookville's Mark Lindenberg returns to the Bees as head coach, replacing Jonathan Meeks. More on him in a second. Carroll County Cavaliers alum Seth Greer replacing Monty Chipman for the head job. Christiansburg's longtime Blue Demons assistant Matt Heron replacing Alex Wilkins. Dan Rivers, longtime Wildcats assistant Micah Knight replacing Brian Womack. And Floyd County Tim Croner is back as head coach, replacing the legend of Winford Beal. More on that in a second. North Cross, we just saw the story earlier, former North Cross assistant Dwayne Priest replacing Shannon Taylor. Over at North Roanoke Catholic, former Fleming and PH assistant Howard Tucker replacing Bob Price. We'll have more on him in a second. And Russburg's longtime Red Devils assistant and Dustin Russell replacing Bert Torrance. And speaking of coaching changes, WFXR's weekend sports anchor Ryan Moye is in the studio to talk about 2 big-name coaches making their debut again this season.
Oh, absolutely. That's right, Jermaine. With plenty of high school football coaches on the move in our area, some well-known faces have made their way back to the field.
It may have taken close to 2 decades, but coaches like former Christiansburg athletic director Tim Cromer has picked the whistle back up and taken his talents down the road to Floyd County High School.
I just missed the game of football. I missed the game planning. I missed the teaching of the game, seeing the kids improve. So, being an AD was great for 7 years, but I'm very thankful just to get back into it at Floyd County.
Cromer took over a Floyd County football program that was led by legendary head football coach Winford Beal. And although Coach Cromer looks to put his own spin on the program, he says you can't move forward without respecting the past.
Just always a tremendous amount of respect for Coach Beal, and you know, the thought of following him is just, you know, it's really kind of cool. It's humbling, if you would, but just very excited to hopefully just continue. I said the Floyd County tradition of playing competitive football the right way, and that's Coach Beal, and I'm looking forward to trying to continue that.
Cromer isn't the only former coach making his way back to the gridiron over at Brookville High School, another familiar face. Head coach Mark Lindenberg has made his historic return to the sideline. Lindenberg returns to where it all began, once the youngest coach in the state. During his time with the Bees, he finished with a 49-19 record. He led the team to district and regional championships back in 1996. And he says this is the perfect time to pick up the clipboard one more time.
Maybe my entire career, I kind of built my career and said I always want to get back to coach and teach again, and knew that this was an option that I would have, that I would be able to retire one day, and even though I don't ever consider myself retired, but I could do that and come back and coach, and it was a dream. I mean, I've been planning this for some time. It just happened to be come back to the school that I love the most, Brookville High School.
Over 25 years removed from the sideline, but teaching the game on and off the field for Coach Lindenberg remains the same.
Kids are generally the same generation after generation. They do the right thing. Most of the time they all make mistakes. So kids haven't changed any. And then as far as transitioning back into coaching, I'm real lucky that the entire staff is made up of guys that most of them have played for me, that I've known really well, who've had really successful careers, so that has really helped the transition as well.
As both coaches approach their new positions with a renewed sense of self, they're hoping to take their respective programs to new heights.
All right, well, just a reminder, Coach Lindenberg and his Brookville Bees open up their season on the road against Patrick Henry Friday, August 30th at 7 p.m., while Coach Cromer, he returns to the New River Valley Christiansburg to face the Blue Demons Friday, August 30th. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m. Jermaine, take it away, man.
I tell you what, thank you so much, Ryan Moye. Now, it is a dream come true for a longtime assistant. Last month, Roanoke native Howard Tucker was named the head football coach at Roanoke Catholic. Now, for Tucker, this is his first head football coaching job at the varsity level.
5 and 1 4, right? I mean, 2 5s and 2 4s. 2 5, yeah. Yeah, 2 5 and 2 4s. 2 5, 2 4. Hard work on 3. 1, 2, 3. Hard work. Let's go. Let's go.
What was it like to get the call, say, hey, we want you to come to our school?
At first, I was kind of shocked. And then it's just been like slowly hitting me as people been calling me, congratulating me. And I was really surprised by how many people in the community found out about it and how fast they found out about it. Because my phone has been blowing up. Like for the past week, like I had to actually turn it off last night.
Howard Tucker's road to his first varsity level head football coaching job took a few paths to get there. Before getting to Roanoke Catholic, Tucker has nearly a quarter of a century of coaching experience, including being an assistant at William Fleming, Patrick Henry, and in charge of the Patriots middle school program, and in the Roanoke City Recreation League. After a year in the Army Reserve, he went on to 5.5 years of active duty service in the Navy. Tucker has used what he has learned in his military service to help him when it comes to coaching the youth.
It helps you with organization. It also, it also helps you with your authority, like explaining how you want things done. Like I'm the head coach, so my coaches that are under me, they got to understand what their job is, but they can't try to undermine me, and we got to work together like that. I'm the head, but it takes, like it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a great staff to coach a team.
Not only is Coach Tucker a military veteran, most of his coaching staff is made up of guys who have also served their country in the military. This is something not lost on the Roanoke Catholic players.
We know that they're not just telling us things. We know that they've experienced it and they know what it's like to work hard. They're not just telling us that we need to. They also have been through it, so it's easier to understand where they're coming from.
It's a thing of respect, and
I value that, and I'm really grateful that we have that opportunity to have them teach us both, not just football, but the things they learned in the military as well. I think it's a great thing to know, and they've already kind of shared their experience a little bit with us, and I think it's been great so far.
I think his military experience will really help us and push us to be better people and better football players. All these coaches that he's brought will help us become better athletes and just better people overall.
At the end of the day, the personal goal is plain and simple for Coach Tucker.
I'm going to try to do the good job like everybody's wishing me, you know. Go do a great job, Coach. Go do a great job. And I'm excited about helping these young players become great players.
Well, still to come on the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz preview special. Guess what we have? We have some action coming your way as Miriam Chamberlain shares a story of how a Cave Spring Knight is playing a parental role with his teammates through a future in the medical field.
It's the best high school football coverage in the Blue Ridge. Hardee's Friday Night Blitz High School Football Preview is back only on WFXR.
Alrighty, well, Cave Spring football standout Rhett Womack is taking an unexpected turn after graduation. Womack is setting his sights on a career that will combine his athletic drive with a commitment to healthcare. I sat down with Womack to hear his story. Let's check it out.
When you think of a lineman, you might picture sheer force and dog mentality on the field. But for Cave Spring Knights, Rhett Womack, there's more to his story than just breaking through defenses.
I want to be a CRNA, so I want to be basically a nurse practitioner. So I've basically come to terms with I will not be going to college to play football.
And while his game face is all about winning on the field, his dreams off the field are rooted in compassion and care.
My mom's a nurse practitioner. She works for Physicians to Children. And so I've been, ever since I was a little kid, exposed to the medical side of the world. And, you know, that's all I've really known is, you know, you got a tummy ache here, take this and take this. So as I was going through, as I'm going through my high school career, I help my buddies out.
Balancing rigorous training with academics, Womack's discipline on the field translates into his studies.
He had a regular summer job. He was interning at a hospital. He was doing football full-time and taking college classes.
As he tackles his final high school season, he's also laying down the groundwork for a future where he'll make a difference in people's lives.
He's always kind of like the mom of the group almost. Like he's always taking care of everyone, always making sure that people are okay. And like if someone gets hurt, because we go on hikes all the time, he's always the first person to check up on someone. And he's always been, I don't know, just a super great person to have around because he always knows what he's talking about, always knows what he's doing.
He's mean on the field, but he wants to spend his life helping people, which surprised me at first, but now that I've seen both sides of him where he can separate that off the field, it makes a little more sense now.
You know, I see these kids hitting head to head and I'm like, I gotta do that. And I have no problem doing it, but I like to be safe. You know, I am notoriously, I do hit a little harder with my head than I probably should.
From the gridiron to the operating room, Womack is proving that true strength is not just about physical power, but about making a positive impact on those around you.
There's not anything he couldn't achieve. He's got a schedule set out for him, and he's gonna follow through.
For the Knights, Womack is more than just a lineman, but a future healthcare hero, and that's a win for everyone.
Great job, Miriam. Now, coming up on the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz preview special, Ryan Moye reports on the first ever Seminole District Media Day for high school football.
It's the best high school football coverage in the Blue Ridge. Hardee's Friday Night Blitz High School Football Preview is back only on WFXR.
Well, it's one of the toughest districts in the Commonwealth, and over in Lynchburg, Heritage head football coach Brad Bradley kicked off the first annual Seminole District Media Day. We caught up with a few of the coaches on why this event is so special.
Personally, I think all these other coaches in the Seminole would agree, like this is the best district in the state of Virginia.
It's pretty rare to have 8 teams in one place, let alone 8 football squads from one of the most storied districts in the Commonwealth.
To my knowledge, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, it's the only district in the state where every single team has a state championship under their belt.
Thursday afternoon over at Heritage High School in Lynchburg, the first ever Seminole District Football Media Day was held, marking another special moment in district history. Originally the brainchild of Heritage High School head football coach Brad Bradley, this was a chance to take the Seminole District to new heights.
I think it's a chance to kind of get our district out there a little bit more. I think it's a very competitive district, and you guys kind of know the history of the district and you know how it has been over the last 10, 15 years, and I just thought it was something good. I think it's something that we can build in the future to make it even bigger.
Go big or go home is what the Seminole is all about. And the coaches couldn't be more happy to have an outlet for the district they love so much.
Yeah, I think it's great, and you know, your guys' support over the years of high school athletics, but high school football specifically is what drives these guys.
This special media day isn't just about talking in front of cameras. It's about a district that has continued to have a lasting impact on the Commonwealth.
It's really, really cool to kind of get everybody together under the same roof and do something like this where coaches and even players can get together and kind of fellowship, share some war stories back and forth, talk about how practice is going, and build the community.
As the playbook continues to grow for the Seminole District, Coach Bradley is ready for next year's Media Day.
Indeed, I tell you, that was a fun time, guys. So are you guys ready for Hardee's Friday Night Blitz? We're going to start it next week.
Oh boy, it's going to be epic. By the way, that was the first ever Seminole District Media Day.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying.
There you go.
Okay. But
Good
no,
stuff.
I am stoked for it. I'm ready to see what they do. I'm especially ready to see what happens out of that district.
Good deal. Well, for Ryan Moye and Miriam Chamberlain, I'm Jermaine Ferrell. We're going to get you ready. Hardee's Friday Night Blitz regular season debut next week.